Hello everybody and welcome to the kitchen table today. It's Alison Soughton again here from Milksham Team Ministry. Glad to be joining together. I was having a conversation this morning with Derek and we were thinking about things to be grateful for, things to be giving thanks and blessings for. And in amongst that conversation we were talking about the fact that soon it will be All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. They are a time in the year when the church stops and gives thanks for all those who have led us to Christ, inspired us in our faith journey, and on All Souls Days for all those we have loved and who have gone before us. That feels more poignant for me this week. I won't be here next week. I will actually be taking some time off when we are going down to Weymouth to scatter my mum's ashes. We're going to be gathering as a family and giving thanks for her life. Now, my mum would be the first to laugh at the notion of her being a saint, but certainly it's a time for us to remember and to give thanks for the life of someone who has had influence on my life. All of us will be touched by people who make a difference. It might be a school teacher that just gave you that love of reading. It might be somebody who was just there with a hand to help you when you needed it most. Maybe during the time of this pandemic, it's been somebody who has just been there to listen when you felt alone, isolated or afraid. Saints come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Just look in the mirror and see the shape and size of you. To be a saint is to be one with the body of Christ. That's what it's a celebration of, the fact that we are all joined together. We are all joined together in our world in a way that we could never even have dreamt of just 100 years ago. We are aware of what's going on all across our planet, whether that's about pollution, climate change, war, the eruption of a volcano. We are right there watching and listening and hearing about the lives of our brothers and sisters all across the globe. We can no longer just sit in our isolation and think, I'm all right, Jack. When we look at the TV screens or when we read our newspapers or look on our tablets and our smartphones, we see the impact we have on each other. The actions that we take having an impact thousands of miles away. So what does it mean to give thanks for everybody that leads us, that guides us, that helps us to journey forward? I would encourage you to stop a moment and think. What do you want to pass on to other people? What would your wisdom be? If you imagine yourself as a saint, sharing some good news, sharing some wisdom, sharing some hope, what would your blessing be to pass on today? It is so easy to think of the negative things. And just last night when I was listening to the conference on the news where we were hearing about the numbers of the COVID infection and how that might get to more than 100,000 per day again. And I was thinking about a conversation I'd had just in the morning yesterday when somebody said, has anybody got any good news? It can really feel like that. But there are good news stories around. I was watching the Earthshot programme on Sunday evening when we were looking at the different ways in which people are making changes in our world. Scientists working together to battle some of the problems that we have created for ourselves in our rush of technology and stretching humanity further and further and further. But in our race to make everything better and more convenient, we have paid a price for it, and our generations to come will pay the ultimate price. But it was such good news to listen to young people engaged with the planet, with science, with solutions. And round here, in our own homes, we all have that opportunity to make a good news story out of the way we live our lives. Whether it's about how we care for one another, or how we use the resources we have, or how we think about our brothers and sisters across our planet. The good news story is that people care. Just today, one of our bishops presented a list of names who are concerned for the way the planet is being used and abused. But the important thing about that petition, the petition to ask the government to really take seriously this climate crisis, it was a gathering of names from people of all faiths across our nation. And I know that people of all faith and no faith feel the same. And that's part of our good news story, that we care, that we have that opportunity to draw together, to say, what is it that we can do? How can we make a difference? How can we be the saints of the future? Prince William was talking the other day about this being the decade. This is the 10 years that we have to save our planet. This is the 10 years that we have to truly have an impact on the way our world is shaped. Are you ready for this decade? Are you ready to think creatively, to make sacrifices that might hurt, and to choose to be the saints of the future, those who are guiding, leading and loving and showing the way? I think there are many saints in our younger generation. I look around the children in our schools and in our streets and I see hope. In amongst the challenges that they're left with, there is hope, there is creativity, and there is a desire to make things right. You couldn't ask for a world more full of hope than that. Let's join in that journey, each and every one of us. So even though I'm not going to be around next week, I won't be at the kitchen table and I won't be taking a service on the Sunday morning next week. But think about All Saints' Day, think about All Souls' Day. Maybe join in with somebody else's service from across the churches or maybe in the diocese at the cathedral. Whatever it is, I hope that you look in the mirror and you see the face of somebody who wants to be part of the answer of making our world a place to flourish within. That you are one of the many saints from the past and into the future that will work together to make this wonderful planet all that it can be for generations to come. Take care, bye for now, and I'll talk to you soon.